YouTube, what's going on? My name is Argon. Welcome back to some Fortnite tips and tricks. Today we got a cool video for you guys. We're going to talk about, the topic we always talk about, building and how it can be useful to you in Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, before we go any further into this video, I'd like to make a quick little offer to you. If you guys can get this video to 150 likes, we'll do a Battle Pass giveaway. The last few videos I put this offer out on haven't hit the 150 like goal. Make sure you guys are letting your friends know about it. Hit that share button. Tell your friends to come check out the video and subscribe. Hit the like button, and hopefully we will get that offer out to you guys. It'll be on any platform, PlayStation, Xbox, or the PC. I was gonna say Steam, but you don't play Fortnite on Steam. But anyway, moving into this video, guys, what I want to talk to you about today is, we always discuss building, how it's so valuable to your ability to do well in Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, in this case, we're not talking about building structures. We're talking about the beauty of two players. Now, this is how you build like a pro. This is the difference between a pro level player and an amateur or a noob or a regular player, is the ability for you to build in the middle of a fight and use your building to your advantage. Now, previous videos I've done and other discussions I've had, I've talked about being able to build yourself a base, something that you can hide in, not hide in, but post up in, set yourself up, play defensive, get some good positioning. It's a very static kind of building, if you will. This is more of a dynamic building. This is when you're in a one-on-one gunfight or a squad-on-squad gunfight. You need to be able to attack, approach, and use it to your advantage. This is what I like to call combat building. So the tips that I have for you when it comes to combat building is it's very kind of, I would say, more meta than it is actual tactics that you can do. The thing is, when it comes to combat building versus defensive fort building, it's a totally different mindset. So I want to go through what it takes for you guys to be able to win these big building fights, because I gotta tell you, man, after you win one of these and you step out and you walk away and you just look at what you just created, the magical, marvelous building that you look at it and you're like, what a piece of art, because it is definitely not something you'd want to live in. But make sure you guys are doing that. If you ever get into a fight like this and you just want to step away and be like, wow, what the hell did I just do? It's a beautiful thing, guys. Combat building is what makes this game as fun as it is. That's the meta at this point. Until we have anything further going, this is what's going to make you a pro level player, getting good at what I'm calling combat building. Now, step number one and tip number one, I want to say, not step, get high. I'm just kidding. Don't do drugs. No, but everything when it comes to building and all in general when it comes to Fortnite Battle Royale is high ground, getting up there. When it comes to actually building and you're in the middle of a combat fight like this, you're trying to get the upper hand. The overarching theme on this, guys, is get to the position to where you can get an easy, clean shot, okay? You don't want to force gunfights, because the gunfights in this game are obviously so random. The building, on the other hand, assuming it's not glitched, is not as random, right? The only thing that made the building random was the glitches that they were having. They've resolved a lot of these issues, but the gunfights are totally random. Because of weapon bloom, because of damage profiles, it's not that consistent. It's really hard to predict. So tip number one, get high. Keep building up. And always build, like a ramp, a wall, so you can just get higher and higher. If your opponent is building ramps around what you're building to get up to you, keep building. Just keep going higher and higher and higher. You don't need to be afraid of somebody taking out your base, because most likely you're just not going to have that happen. In most cases, if you're playing a squad, there's a chance somebody's sitting back with an RPG shooting at your base trying to knock it down. But in general, it's probably not going to happen. And also, one of the things I want to talk to you about here is you got to take some risks when it comes to this sort of thing. And one of those risks is not fortifying your base at the bottom so that it's really secure, because sometimes you're just not going to have that luxury. A combat fight, you're exposing yourself to a certain degree because you're trying to win an aggressive battle. These are the absolute most aggressive gunfights and battles you will ever partake in when it comes to Fortnite Battle Royale. So one of the risks you're going to have to do is not worry so much about what you're leaving behind you or beneath you, because you need to focus on going up. Now that leads a little bit into tip number two. Don't worry about the completeness. Your goal is to get as high as possible so you can get that perfect shot. You want to get up maybe 2 layers above the guy so you can pump shotgun him in the top of the head. That's what you want to be focusing on, guys. You don't want to focus on, I'm building a 1x1, I got to wrap walls all the way around me. No, if it just means one wall and then one ramp to go up that wall, do it. Just keep moving up. At the end of the day, you're not going to need to worry about those bottom layers. And if you ever actually get to a position where, okay, now you can see the guy is no longer trying to reach you, then build around yourself and protect yourself from all angles. But in general, you're not going to be in that position for very long. You want to keep moving up. So the faster you can move up, the better. You don't need to keep spinning walls around you because you're going to A, waste material, B, and move slower, and C, probably not going to end up winning the fight. Tip number 3. Now, I'm guilty of not doing this, and it's a habit I'm trying to break, but keep out your blueprints. Stay in build mode. You don't need to pull out your gun until you're absolutely ready to shoot. If you watch someone like Myth, you'll see a lot of times he never pulls out his gun until he's ready to take a shot. Now, I'm pretty guilty of build something, swap to a gun, build something, swap to a gun. That's all wasted time, guys. And if somebody's charging you really quickly, you need that blueprints out better. If someone's charging you and you're in the middle of building, you're not going to win a gunfight if you swap back to your gun to shoot at the guy. He's already got his gun. He's chasing you. Just keep building. Protect yourself. Build a floor. Build more walls. Build more ramps. Just keep building. Staying in build mode is probably your best bet. Again, this is kind of a hard habit to break, but think about it. Watch some other people that play well, like Myth, for example. You'll see him almost never take out his weapon until he's ready to take his shot. Tip number 5, guys, is know when to go down. I know this whole time I've been talking about going high, but sometimes you reach a point where you're like, okay, I want to be evasive. That's another key. Try and be a little bit evasive, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get to whatever works, trying to get that clean shot. Sometimes that means dropping down in your base and then moving around to a different position and then attacking from there. There are several ways you can go down. One of them is to edit your way down. So if you have ramps, you can edit them into like little one-sided ramps, drop down, put holes in your floors, and just keep dropping down like that. Another way you could do it is you could drop off to the side of your base and just make sure you drop a fall ledge while you're landing, just like you would if you were going down the side of a mountain. Put a fall ledge on your way, then you'll have a new layer that you're maybe 7 or 8 layers down. Start building again and go do that. Another thing that I kind of like to do is if I end up building a little bit higher above myself than I planned and I somehow get into a lower level, I'll build all around myself, and then what I'll do is if the guy's on one side of me, I'll turn to the other wall, put a door, and get out, and then now he thinks I'm barricaded in there when really I've escaped him, and now you can get to a better position. So think about things like that, guys, ways that you can not only go up, but also sometimes it is important to be able to go down. Those are 3 little tricks that you can use that will make it so you're harder to find as well. The last tip I have for you guys is stay calm. These combat fighting situations are very, very tense. They're very stressful. They're very, just tense, and they're just insane. It's the most fun you're gonna have playing Fortnite Battle Royale. It's critical you stay calm. If someone's shooting at you, it's okay if you take damage. At the end of the day, that guy who you're fighting, if you're in a build battle like this, he's probably got a lot of loot because he's probably a good player. So don't worry about wasting mats. Don't worry about wasting ammo. Your goal is to win this gunfight. Most likely you'll end up with enough loot on the other side of it. So stay calm, take care of your building, get that right gunshot, and then you'll be able to hopefully come out on top. So that's it for my tips, guys, and I'll say a little bit more word of advice, not really official tips. We talked about this a little bit in the rushing bases video. Make sure you guys check that out if you haven't. I gave you guys some tips on how to approach bases that you see people are fortified. They look like they've set up, Fort whatever, McGee, I don't know, some big army base that you're not going to be able to penetrate without massive missiles and crap. One of the tips I gave you guys in that video was to be kind of creative with your attack. The same thing goes here. In general, you're not trying to build yourself some massively beautiful designed architecture. You're just using the building mechanism as a pathway to move yourself through the air so that you can get into an advantageous situation. So keep that in mind. You don't, like I said earlier, you don't need to build all the way around yourself every time. It doesn't have to be a pretty tower. Sometimes it can be these weird kind of like ramps going off into nowhere and pyramids all over the place and just random stuff that you end up building that helps you in every situation to try and win this game and win this gunfight. You definitely don't be thinking about what it looks like, because when you walk away from it, it's going to look like some crazy messed up Christmas tree that got struck by lightning and is just fried. And I don't even know where I'm going with that example, but like I said, get creative, get randomness is good too. Have some fun with it. And like I said at the beginning of this video, the best and most fun fights you're ever going to get into are these fights where you have to engage in combat building. I just love that name, guys. Make sure you call it that too. A lot of people call it build fights. I like combat building because that's what you're doing. You're using building in a combative way, okay? And you can also use things like if someone's, they're building up to you, you can put floors over them so they can't reach you. Make them have to figure out a different way up. You have to get creative. It's not just going high. It's also, being defensive with your build as well. So it's an aggressive, offensive, and defensive way of playing. And the only way you're gonna get good at it, guys, is practice. Watch a bunch of people do it, and so you can get ideas on what they're doing and see how that works, and then you can also try it out on your own. But if you stay calm, have plenty of materials, and just try things out, you never know. You might end up getting really good at this. You might be the next myth. So anyways, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button. 150 likes equals a free battle pass. If you haven't yet and you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. If you're not following me on social media, the links are down in the description below. And until next time, guys, my name is Argon, and may you never die to a bush. Peace.